Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2025 action sequel, SISU Road to Revenge. The film is written and directed by Jalmari Helander and it stars Jorma Tamila, Stephen Lang and Richard Brake. Now the film once again follows Astami Kope, I think that's what his name is. Essentially, we saw what he was capable of in the first film. He is a legendary Finnish commander who lost his wife and children in the Second World War. And he became this legendary soldier as a result, taking out waves and waves of enemies, and kind of got this legendary name where everyone basically thinks is indestructible. This time round, the war's over, essentially. He has gone back to where his home is located, that used to be in Finland, but it's now actually in the Russian border because they've taken some of the land. So he gets to his old house and he decides he is going to dismantle this house and try and take it back across to the Finnish border and rebuild it from scratch. However, the Russians know he's there. They're not best pleased. So they bring Stephen Lang on board, who is a vicious Russian commander who killed his family, the Finnish general's family, to track him down and kill him to get rid of the legend. So you've got this long sequence where you've got Stephen Lang and a never-ending wave of Russian soldiers trying to take out our man SISU before he can get across the border. As you could imagine, he doesn't make it very easy for them. Right, what are my thoughts on SISU Road to Revenge? Well, the first one was such a fantastic film. It was the surprise hit of the year when it came out in 2022. It came out of nowhere. Nobody knew anything really about the film, and then it came out and it just got brilliant reviews and fantastic word of mouth, and it just kind of gave it that traction. And then when I got around to seeing it, I could absolutely see why. It was absolutely brilliant, creative, inventive, brutal. Just a brilliant action film. So I've been looking forward to seeing the sequel. Again, this has been getting good reviews. It seems to be doing quite well. And after seeing it, I'm happy to report, guys, that this is a fabulous sequel. In some ways, it's better than the first, I think. It's more personal than the first. He's literally going up against the man who killed his family. Which was the turning point that turned him into this killing machine that he has become. And he will do anything to avenge his family. And he's just so relentless. He's just so consistently brutal. And he is unkillable. It's just fantastic watching the action in this film. It's just, they do it in chapters, and I can't just remember if they did that in the first film, but like, it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. He's in this truck with the timber on the back that he's dismantled his house from, that he's going to rebuild when he gets across the border, and he is just, from a big chunk of the film, being chased by Russians trying to take him out while he's in this truck. It's very, at times it's very reminiscent of Raiders of the Lost Ark, the truck chasing that, and even at times a bit of Last Crusade stuff in there. It's definitely tipping its hat to things like that. It's just so fabulously done. It never feels like the action's getting boring when you're watching it. I mean, some action films, it's just gunfight, car chase, gunfight, and maybe a bit of fisticuffs here and there. And this, it just feels different. Every scene feels different than the last. Every scene feels inventive and creative, and a new layer added to what you just don't expect. The level of action and the level of creativity that's gone into this. The stunt performers just deserve so much credit here. I mean, they've absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. And you are so rooting for this guy. You just can't wait to see him like take them out, and he goes through such torture in this film, physically and mentally at times, but physically for sure. And he's just, at points in this film, he's just a mass of blood. He's just blood from head to toe, and it's not everybody else's blood, it's his own blood. He gets brutalized in this film, but he is relentless. He's got this, everyone talks about John Wick and his will to, just keep moving forward sort of thing. Well, times that by 10 with SISU. I mean, he just doesn't stop. He's a machine. And he's a silent machine because he never utters a word throughout the whole film, which, again, I don't think he did in the first one either. He's just a silent protagonist. And there are no words to be said. So why say them? And they've very wisely here given him a real strong nemesis in Stephen Lang as this bastard of a Russian commander that is quite proud of the fact that he killed women and children in the war. Because the war's over now, it's 1946. Even though it got him jailed for his crimes. And he's quite proud of the fact that he killed, Sisu's family. In a very brutal way. So he is a credible antagonist for the main character here. He feels dangerous. He feels like he is a real threat to him, and you genuinely can't wait for the head-to-head when you finally get it. Now, there are some sequences here that defy logic and sense. There's one in particular where he has to catch up a train, and he uses creative means to do it, but it's bollocks, really, and it just wouldn't work. And there's a couple of other bits and pieces, and you're just thinking, come on, that would just kill you outright, something like that, the impact of it or whatever. But any good action film, you've got to suspend your disbelief a little bit. And believe me, guys, this is a good action film. If you enjoyed the first one, I think you're going to be absolutely delighted with this one. Like I say, it's got a real emotional kick. I actually had a lump in my throat at the end of the film. It was actually quite moving. And it was a fitting end to the film. So I was delighted to see the satisfying ending that I feel I got from the film. But I just had an absolute blast with this one. It's like a roller coaster ride. Honestly, it's like a thrill ride. It doesn't stop, doesn't really give you a chance to come up for air. And when it does, it doesn't stop for long either. So I absolutely thought this was fantastic. Definitely one of my favourite films of the year. Absolutely delighted with it. And if you guys want to see a brilliant action film, go and watch this one. If you haven't seen the first one, go and watch that first and then get to the cinema and support this film and get it watched. I'll see you back on the channel with plenty more content very, very soon.